Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do Magi. Listen, wow, Magi chapter. Hold on, 198 review. There we go. This week's chapter of Magi. Let me just say this, all right? I don't know what I said last week about the whole thing about the Secret Palace, because I haven't seen my own video of that, and I should have watched my own video last week, but I didn't. Well, I'm not going to because I need to go do other stuff. So right here, of course, as usual, off the cuff. But let me say this: Titus, whatever his name is, Titus, coming back was a little bit too soon. Wait, listen, from what I remember, from what I said last week, I kind of hinted or guessed that he may come back because Aladdin, he was in the Secret Palace before he came to the world. So assuming the same thing may apply to Titus as well, it's just that it was way too quick. It was way too quick. It was literally like one chapter ago when he got there. Then it was like, okay, so like there's two essences. There are two essences that are there. There's Titus, and then there is the real Scheherazade, and we have Ugo. And I'm starting to believe that Ugo is like Solomon himself. Like I'm really starting to believe that, but probably not. But like a direct tie to Solomon in some way. He may know where he is. He may just something to do with Solomon, obviously. Because why is there like all the other jinn? They are like in their designed dungeons, but Ugo is like just doing shit. He's doing in the Secret Palace. It's like, why are you there? But the other jinn are like in their dungeons. What makes you so special, Ugo? What makes you so special? So I'm thinking, okay, so probably maybe either A, he has a direct importance to Solomon, like he may have been Solomon's own personal jinn, I don't know, or B, he is Solomon, or maybe C, there's other reasons. C is going to be other reasons, and it's probably, if not most definitely C. I'm just throwing it out there. But either way, Scheherazade's essence is apparently talking to Ugo, and Ugo says, so not you, Scheherazade, but the young boy. And then the essence kind of points towards Titus's essence, and his essence is kind of weird. It's like a ball with like hair and shit. I got some weird Kirby shit. It throws me off. Either way, so he's like, okay, so go back to the world, young Magi, or something along those lines. And his essence, so the doors open sesame, and his essence gets like blasted into the world, and apparently there's like a clone of Scheherazade, like right there. And then we, at the end of the chapter, we see the return of Titus. So that was way too quick. If that was going to happen, at least, make it like in the middle or at the end of next arc, because Aladdin took a considerable amount of time to go to the world. But in this case, it was like, literally, like a few minutes later, you're back. You died, you're back. So could have been paced a lot better. That's the honest truth. However, before I go into other stuff too, because this chapter, even though the pacing could have been better, massive story progression. But getting back to what I was saying before, now that Titus is back, he's back inside another clone. So isn't it like the clone's gonna also die young or some shit? I mean, maybe now there's some weird thing going on where because he's a Magi and because he's loved by the Rook, he is going to be able to like sustain life for a extended period of time, for like like a normal human life. I don't know. I have no idea. But apparently the way it seems as if like once you enter the Secret Palace, because we don't know if it's like, because normally the way it is that like it's like someone dies a natural death and the essence gets thrown into the Great White Flow. That sounds kind of weird. Take it, but either way, the thing about it is that in this case, his essence went to the Sacred Palace. The question is why? Why is it that some of these select souls, these select essences, these egos, go to the Sacred Palace as opposed to the Great White Flow? I mean, as far as we know, I mean, the way it is that, like, Tidus, he's not a Magi. He wasn't loved by the Rook, but more so he was a clone. Well, actually, was he loved by the Rook? I'm not too sure. I forget. I don't think so, no. But he did have a massive amount of Magoi inside of him because of Scheherazade. So, like, I'm not too sure, I'll be honest, because it's very strange. We need more details on that. But as of right now, it does appear that, like, some of these such few egos can go into the Sacred Palace and then come back. It's basically a resurrection. And here's where we get to the actual other parts of the story. And here's what incorporates the master story progression. First of all, at the beginning, we have this face-off, right? This face-off between Co-Empire and the 7 Sea Lions, literally circling around all the metal vessel users of the Co-Empire. And we have Sinbad, he's there, you know, like, yeah, ba-da-da. Like, I love this dude. But listen, here's the thing, okay? The thing about it is that, so, like, after they beat the medium, it's like off the gate, like, yeah, like, you know, like, we gotta huddle around you, we gotta just, you know, watch you, because, and that's what it is. And apparently we have Kouen, he's saying how we were here originally to take over Magnostadt. That's what we're here for, and we're gonna do it. And the 7 Sea Lions is like, no, where you going? Where are you going? You're not going anywhere. And we find out that apparently, because Yunnan kind of stops Sinbad, because Sinbad, he does something where he kind of like psychs out Kyogoku for some odd reason. Like, so, like, there's, like, maybe there's something going on there, I'm not too sure. But, like, the way it seems as if, like, Sinbad did something to her psychologically. And that may have been because of the time they spent together in Balbad and in Shindoria. Or it may be directly Jin related. Don't know. But either way, she is susceptible to Sinbad in some way, shape, or form. Either way, we move on. Sinbad reveals that apparently, by the way, we, the 7 Sea Alliance, have made an alliance with the Rim Empire. Wait a minute. That's problems. That spells trouble for the Co-Empire. Big trouble. Like Robin, big trouble. Like, whoa. And Kouen, this is counter. Okay, fine. So you guys want territories? Okay, fine. I'm taking the Magi. It was funny because there was like a lad. He's like, wait, what? And he's like, hey, huh? You remember our deal, man? He's smirking and shit. He's like, yeah, I remember our deal. So here's the thing, all right? My initial assumption was that because Aladdin was going to tell Kouen this because of their deal, because of their arrangement, he was also going to tell Sinbad. But the thing about this is that as Sinbad mentions about how they have an alliance with the Rem Empire, he also tells Kouen that I also need to make sure that the people of Magnostadt are okay, because their country is in ruins. And we have Aladdin say so he wants to take over take over Magnostadt as well, something along those lines. But the hint here is that Sinbad is on some like super edge shit. He's spearing motherfuckers like crazy, opportunity everywhere with this guy. He is taking every opportunity that he can. And he's on some like super control shit now. So not only has the 7 Sea Alliance made an alliance with the Rim Empire, but also he's gonna use this opportunity to try and uplift this destroyed, broken down country / city, you know, like a city-state. therefore establish power, or at least some kind of debt, or maybe have the people love them or love him. Because Sinbad, even though these people have been for years, they have been told about how magicians, they protect them, and so they hold magicians at a very high standard. The thing about it is that this is Sinbad. This guy, the word magnetizing doesn't even define him. He's like on some Jesus daddy shit. He's like glowing in like the wind. It's like, what the fuck? He's on some Grievous shit, like Grievous, and he just magnetizes motherfuckers. So like his charisma's off the charts. He has his own pace, his own flow, and you get sucked in. So the thing about it is that once he's there, they're gonna be supporters of Sinbad. Oh hell yeah! So that's why Aladdin's saying like, so he's gonna try and take over the Magnostadt as well. And then Kouen's counter is like, all right, fine, you do that. You establish your territories. I want knowledge. I want something greater, because Aladdin at this point in time, the way it seems, because he seems to be upset with Sinbad, it looks like he's gonna not tell him about the history of Amatoran. Kouen, he's gonna know. So while he loses the opportunity for territories, he gains something in return: knowledge. And knowledge equals what, people? Power. So, just saying, man. Just saying. He's like, okay, fine. You know what? You want your territories? I'm grabbing the Magi. And he literally just grabs him like, yeah, I'm grabbing the Magi. Yeah, you remember? Yeah. He'd actually do that. Well, that'd be funny as fuck if he did. That'd be hilarious. That'd be hilarious. So that was good. That was very good. So that may actually be a big deal, because Sinbad, he must know some things about Amatoran, but not all things. That's for sure. Aladdin knows all things. Why? Solomon's wisdom. Duh. But now, who's gonna also know? Kouen. Okay. Now the next part. The fucking goddamn. Okay. So the next part is, ignore that shit. If you're here to ignore it, the next part is basically this. We have the guys, Al-Thaman, and they're talking to, well, first of all, the Empress, evil bitch, Kouen. She's saying, okay, so let's have a celebration. Let's have a party hard, and we're gonna party because A, Scheherazade is dead, and B, apparently the aperture, I believe it's called, is to the world, is open and is going to remain open for a few years. So that's something new. This hole in the world, because we don't actually see it, but either this portal to the other dimension, to the higher dimension where the Black God resides, that hole is now gonna remain open for a few years. And if ever they create another dark spot, another massive amount of dark Rook, they can pull down the Black God immediately. Since when? Now, apparently. So that means that at any given point in time, if they do form this mass, if they do make another medium, it's beam, game over. No. There's gotta be another cat. Someone has to know this. One of the good guys has to. Yunnan probably knows. He probably knows this stuff because, and I'll get to that real quick. Basically, there has to be some countermeasure, because it cannot be me. There's no way. But she's seeing how they're in a struggle right now, even though they kind of lost in an overall scale. They lost the battle, but the war is not yet lost. But the thing here is this: one of the guys says this, but Empress Kouen, Lord Solomon is clearly arrogant. Whatever he sounds like, fuck, I don't know. And he basically says a few things here. But he says a few things about, the secret palace. But the main thing is this: he says that he has, and let me say this, right? Verbatim. Let me find it somewhere because it's actually like very, very, very important. He says this, all right? By using that same method, the method by which Titus has returned to the world, he's already preserving the enormous knowledge and superior ego of another Magi, the one called Yunnan. He is implying, actually he's saying, literally, that Yunnan is an individual who has been reborn. In this case, probably several times over, which would explain as to why he knew more than Scheherazade did, despite the fact that she was over 200 years old, or around that age frame. So the thing about it is that he's probably died. His essence, his ego, went to the Secret Palace and then came back several times over. Which is why he is apparently the only Magi that knows how to rise dungeons. Because he's been around for God knows how long. His ego. Because normally what happens? You die, your ego, your essence goes into the Great White Flow. His palace and back. He's been reincarnated probably several times over. And he has retained. Because again, his goal, Hakuryu's goal, is to kill Gyokuin. Someone told me that. Actually, no, different thing. But now I'm thinking about it. What if one of them, either Judao or Hakuyu, tries to become the Black God itself, tries to take over his dominion? Listen, I mean, like, why would you want to condense all that dark? For what reason, then? For what reason? So obviously, you gotta keep your eye on those two guys because they're both fallen from grace. Judao's been done that, and Hakuyu, he just fell. He was up here. He was an angel. You know what happened? Like an arc ago, he caught this girl's head, and it was like from then on plummet. He pulled a Sasuke. He was like, fuck it. Dun, 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 dun. Straight up downward spiral. Fuck. Alright. Okay. But I'm done. The chapter rating overall. So again, the pacing, it needs work. That's true because it was like, okay, so one chapter, I'm in here, Secret Palace. Next chapter, I'm back. It's like, wait a second. Like, is that it? Really? So that needed work. So the pacing needed a lot of work. It really did. However, massive amount of story progression. Huge. So I will give it a great. Yeah. I will give it a great chapter rating. And the Magnostadt arc is now over. It is done. So, that being said, King Lightning, we are in for the next arc. And what I'm going to do is that at some point, I'm not sure when exactly, but I'm going to do an overview of this arc because this arc has been a phenomenal arc so far. And I started reviewing Magi at the end of this arc, which is unfortunate because, it took me a while to catch up to the actual series because the series, reading 190 chapters is like a 3-week job. It depends how fast you read it. And it depends it depends how you read as well. Because you can read fast, but if you want to take your time and absorb all the details, all the information, all the material, then you will take your time. That's the way it is. And that's what I do a lot. I read slowly, purposely, because I want to retain all the information about the series. Because if it's, a good series like Magi, that's what I tend to do. But yeah, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. Chaptering overall is great. The Magnostadt arc is now over, and now I'm signing out. Be sure, of course, rate, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice day.